Knit. So what for a long time I've been thinking certain members of the population can say the N word and certain can't. And I thought, well, there's no free speech there. So what I thought I would do is go nigger. So will the YouTube channel or filters pick that up?
It will when I edit it.
Well,
edit it so that you're cut. And
that's why I look different ways, exactly for that reason.
I'll just mirror one of them.
Yeah, and cut them together. Yeah,
it can be done.
I know.
Well, I mean, I just don't think it's a battle worth fighting. Personally, I don't care. That if there's that inequality, I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't care. I mean, you're never going to get everything 100% on anything, right? So if you're never going to get everybody marching in step, thank God, because that is fascism. I want people to be different and have different, I mean,
I agree.
Is the R word the same thing? Is there only two groups?
The R word?
Yeah.
What's the R word?
Well, you're an example of that. But
racist?
No, the other R word.
What is it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you want to shorten it, I guess it'd be tard.
Retard?
You can't say that, Steve.
So you can now.
No, you can't. No, YouTube will cancel
you. That's stupid.
You will be canceled for that.
I don't know. We live in a world where I think we should try to be colorblind.
I know. I've heard this.
Yeah.
And so is everyone else.
But we're not working towards that.
No, we won't be working towards that. No.
We should, though.
We were, but I mean, we're not living in those times anymore. In the 70s, that was happening, but I mean, that was probably the last of it, maybe a little part of the 80s, but then we morphed into where we are now, more divided than ever. The ideology, where it started, I don't know, maybe some smart person came up with this thought that if we just did these things and changed our language, that somehow society would change. But no, what it did is just fucked everything up, made it worse. And maybe, I mean, you could say, well, if the boomers just die, then this will all get better. It's like, nah, I don't think so.
No,
because you're thinking that once you get to this magical place, everything can just stop and it'll be perfect. It's like that's not what life is. Life doesn't ever stop. It always changes, and whatever you think's the best direction now may not be the best direction in the future.
We'll never get to a magical place, but we should, I think, try to move in the best direction. And the best direction is not more division between the so-called races at all. That's the wrong way to go.
That's right. But you are the wrong demographic to even suggest something like that, because you won't listen. Nobody will listen to it. But also, it's not something. It's something people have to want. And right now, people want to identify how they want to identify. It's in a way, it's tribalism. And so you're not going to get this unifying. What are you going to do? Legislate it? No. You're going to wish it happened? You're going to wish that it happens? The only thing you can do is hopefully people come back to accepting people on an individual basis and stop talking about people in the general terms. That's the only thing that's going to matter.
Well, where does your going out in the street and marching and protesting fit into this view? I mean, I think we should keep moving in the direction of free speech. What speech you use shouldn't matter what your skin color is, or male or female. So we should keep moving in that direction. Are you saying we should just kind of keep it tamped down until things magically change?
I'm not saying tamp anything down. I'm saying there's nothing you or me are going to be able to do about it. There's nothing. We could start an institution. We could try to pass laws. That's not going to fix this. This has to come from people, and we're not in a period where that's going to change, because everything is in chaos right now. We need less chaos, not more, but that's not where we're headed.
I agree with you after reading John Stuart Mill on Liberty, but how we need more variety and diversity and weird ass people. I don't like strange people like nose rings hanging out of their ass, that kind of thing. But we should at least tolerate them. We should not discourage them because they could be right. So I battle between
Not
that.
why. I mean, because they could be right is not a reason. I mean,
No, it is.
No, not for me. It isn't.
Well, what's the
That's
reason
not
for
a
you?
reason to. Because I mean, I'm not concerned about whether they're right or not. I'm concerned about their right to be that way or to express that. That's their right. But whether they are right is sort of irrelevant to the question.
Oh, I agree. So maybe I didn't state that very well. Like, I hate the Nazis, but they should be able to march in Skokie, Illinois. And I hate nose rings hanging off of people's faces when I go to order coffee. But they should have the right to look that way.
I don't
general.
mind the nose ring so much. It's the infected nostrils that I don't care for. If they just not have the infection, I'd feel better about it.
Oh man, I have not seen that, and I don't want to see it.
Well, but I mean, you were trying to tie in protesting, but it's like the most protesting I've done is recently with the No Kings rallies, and that's about our political system. So I mean, we're free to do that. That's one thing that we're free to do, readdress our government.
Yeah, well, I guess I was trying to tie in. It seemed like you were saying that you and I can't change the world in some ways, but it's still worth going to a No Kings rally. I mean, I wouldn't have gone unless my spouse was going, because I don't really think me being there has much of an effect.
Well, that you can say the same thing about voting. So why bother to vote, since your vote doesn't really have much of an effect?
Well, no, that's different. It's
No,
it is.
it's not. It's not.
Some positions are decided by hundreds of votes, within hundreds of votes. So in those I mean, the president of the United States is not. I have no effect, but I vote because I want to be able to criticize it, and I don't think if you don't vote, you can't criticize it.
But obviously you can, because everybody does.
Yeah, sure. But marching, protesting in the street, what does that affect?
Well, what does it affect? It lets the government know. I mean, I'm not saying it's making change, but it does allow people to network, which is the whole point. I mean, should we not have had a Boston Tea Party? Do you think we should have just let the English have their way, not done anything to protest? Then we'd just be all speaking. Well, I'd be going to say, well, we speak in English.
The King's English.
So
no,
it's the same.
That definitely had financial consequences.
So I mean, it's the same spirit, but I mean, clearly, people, we also don't want to. We don't want a revolution, unless it was the very last resort. We don't want to hurt ourselves financially, or, we just want people to listen, and then change from that. And if they don't, well, you kick the can down the road. But if, in fact, we do have free and fair elections, that's the price that will be paid. But if we don't have free and fair elections, then all bets are off.
So we do want to speak up and complain and have our voices heard, right?
And we want to be able to see ourselves do that. How many people are upset? If we all sit on our couches, we don't get to see that on the news. We don't get to see that other people feel the same way we do. And then we get to feel worse about it because we think we're the only ones that feel this way. That's exactly why fascism works. People don't speak out.
So we should speak out more. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
So that isn't really a useful
It is speaking out, though, isn't it?
Not in the same way. Are you protesting because you personally can't say that without
Yes, I'm
a lot of shit?
absolutely protesting.
Huh?
I'm absolutely protesting because of the color of my skin. I can't say that.
All right. Well, so that's the only example you have? Because I mean, it's a pretty shallow example.
It's not shallow.
Well, yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
I can't use a certain water fountain because one says this race and one says the other race. I can't use that other water fountain. Why is that? We shouldn't be living our lives like that.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah.
no,
We should
no.
live our
I think
lives like that.
they're quite different examples.
How are they different?
Well, because one is more, about politeness. The other one was about division and class. And you're
Oh,
not being
okay.
affected by class or division, by the way. It's just you're upset because you're not allowed to say one little word. Big
But
deal. Boo hoo.
no, but I'm not saying it because I want to use it in a harmful way. I'm saying it because I'm trying to point out the absurdity of it. It's like
Well, I know.
I, I want to sneak over and use that other water fountain, even though if I was polite, I wouldn't. I don't have to use that other water fountain. I could use the one that has the sign on it that says whites only.
The water fountain example is a poor one. I just explained that to you
I know I don't see why it's poor.
because it's completely different thing. You're not being deprived of a utility. You're not being told to sit in the back of the bus. You're not being pushed down. You're not being affected in any way. It's an
I
ownership.
am.
No, you're not. Not really.
I
You're
am.
choosing to make it. You're choosing it to make it that way. But it doesn't affect me. I don't care. You've chosen to make it an issue. It's not an issue.
I've chosen to point that out. So, okay, it doesn't affect me in any way, except that it says I can't use certain words in public. Well, I don't use them in private either, but
I mean,
I don't see how this is.
I think a wise person would know that at that time that they live in and act accordingly, and then at some point in time maybe things will change, but it's like why do the work for the side you're against? I assume
Um,
you'd be against discrimination and bigotry and racism. I assume you would be against it, but you're working for the other side, and that's I think the problem at the for your
well, I think
friends
there's
that
a
you live with.
there's a third side. So I learned growing up that I should not say like swear in front of my mom because I might get my mouth washed out. And I learned that if you go into a court of law, you can't just say whatever the hell you want. You need to, there's decorum there and you need to be respectful. But that's so I understand all that. It's not just that I'm polite. I understand that different situations are different contexts. But out in the world or on YouTube, why can't a white guy say the N word?
There's a lot of things we white guys can't do anymore,
Is that
which
a
are far,
problem?
which are far worse than the example you're bringing up. I mean, I don't care about that one.
Well,
I don't
what's
have
worse?
any. I don't have any. I don't have a horse in that race. I don't. There's no benefit to me to know that I can say it. There's not probably a time I would ever say it, even if it weren't a problem. I would just never use it. So
So
I don't care.
what's worse? What can't white guys do?
At the moment, we're the blame for almost all of the bad that's happened in the world. So it's not
I
that
know.
we can't do; it's what we have done,
And so
and,
we should
and it's a
just be
blanket.
quiet and accept that we're guilty of all of this stuff.
But that's not what you're saying. You're saying this word upsets you so much, when in fact I think these other things that are happening to us are far worse and need more of a vocal amplification than that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think this is just a symptom of the problem where people have forgotten. Well, there are many problems, but one of them is that we should strive to be colorblind. And the fact that we can't use this water fountain because we're the wrong color
You
is a
need to
symptom
you
of
need to
that.
give up the water fountain. Man.
Okay, can I use buggy whips? Can I bring that in?
I was going to suggest you bring up buggy whips. Nobody's asking us to step aside and let them run things, but that's what the assumption is. That we've heard enough from people that look like you, and the problem is that that's as racist as anything else.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've done in your life to even advocate or help any of these other disenfranchised groups. It doesn't matter. It's what matters now is you should get in the back of the line. That's what should matter.
Yeah, because of your skin color and your sex,
because of your
and
history,
your age.
because of your history, your sex, and your age.
Yeah, but you did none of those bad things.
Doesn't matter.
I know, but that's the problem.
I know.
So we should fight against that. We should go march in the street, the King's March. We should say this is stupid.
You organize it, and then I'll be right there with you.
Okay. Well,
so that's why people can't have normal conversations, because they can't agree on what the topic even is. We don't do this so much, but I mean, I can imagine people that that you might happen to live with might be having a different conversation than the one you're having, and that will never change, that you'll never get beyond to a point where one side is understanding what the other side is saying, because because it's inherent in our being. That's how we process information. It's partly how we are as individuals.
Yeah, it was a minor epiphany to me a while back. People have identities and they're members of tribes or groups, and they see themselves in a certain way. And if you question the views of the tribe or their identity, they don't like that. And they're not really open to being questioned, because that brings into question their identity. So I've been trying to do less of that, because once I realized I'm questioning their identity if we play with ideas and talk about things, it's like they don't really want to question their identity. They know who they are. And if you bring up certain questions, you're questioning them.
Well,
you're attacking them.
Let's talk about you for a minute.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I like it when I'm questioned, because I want to know if I'm wrong.
So you're this, hayseed from Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
You came to the West and you somehow stumbled into IT and,
lucked out. Yeah.
And then, and that's your identity right there.
No, we all have
whether that's real or not.
We all have multiple identities, right? But I've never really seen myself as a Republican or a Democrat, for example, because I have views that are stereotypically on both sides. Like, I'm for abortion, that's Democratic. I'm for being able to have a gun, that's Republican. I think we should allow the death penalty, that's Republican. I think we should have more access to drugs, that's Democrat. It's like, so we all have multiple identities. I guess I don't think we should fixate on one.
Well, so let's question some of your
identities.
Yes, one of your identities.
Okay.
So why do you think I don't want to get into this, because I just know what your answers are. That's the problem.
Maybe I've changed.
No,
I could argue the opposite. See, I think we should be able to argue the opposite view. Otherwise, you don't fully understand your own view. But not a lot of people want to do that.